a serviceman from the Khabarovsk region, said that he was denied of medical assistance. His arm was amputated. The elbow joint of the other one does not work. The leg has been festering for 4 months. After being wounded, the military was promised help with prosthetics and rehabilitation, but in the end he did not receive anything, and for almost 10 months he has not been paid a salary.
I am applying from the hospital. They don't want to accept me there, and the surgeons don't even want to come in to operate on me. I am formally in the unit. They do not give me an extract with an order that I can take a referral and undergo a course of treatment.
Instead of medical help, threats and blackmail, the Russian Marine complains that the command threatened to kill him, writes the Telegram channel Astra. The documents of the soldier were taken away. Medical assistance is not provided. The Marine got in touch from Melitopol, occupied by the Russian army.
I want to have a psychiatrist check for sanity, because I have inappropriate behavior. I was with a friend, he was shocked at my behavior, what I do, how I look. I have a crazy look, I'm shaking all over, I don't know what's going on.
A soldier from the territory of the Donetsk region temporarily occupied by Russia received a shell shock, but instead of paying for the wound, he was taken to the basement for the so-called conscientious objectors. Local Telegram channels write about this. Later it was reported that the soldier managed to escape from the basement, but then they came to his house and threatened with reprisal. After being wounded, Russian servicemen are left to their own devices. Severorealii journalists told the story of a mobilist resident of St. Petersburg, Sergei. He was wounded twice in the war against Ukraine, but several hospitals refused to treat him. Now the soldier's family cannot prove that he was wounded at the front. After treatment, they plan to go to court. Amid the broadcast, a beautiful picture of what is happening there in the war against Ukraine, and I see it from the inside, all the dirt and bestial attitude towards our people, how the stars of heroes get comfortable and pleasing colonels who put dozens of our guys without putting their lives in the penny, how comrades with micro-fractures of fingers are immediately evacuated by helicopter with all certificates and state payments, while people with concussions, shrapnel in the body, fractures remain on the front line and continue to carry their cross because there are no places for them in hospitals. How do people without legs prove through the court that they lost their legs there on the battlefield and not suddenly the tram ran over? Yekaterina, Russian soldier's wife, from a social media post. About 30 Russian soldiers who recently returned home as part of a prisoner exchange were again sent to war against Ukraine, writes Holod. They were promised to be transported to Rostov, from there to be distributed to hospitals and sent for rehabilitation. But instead, the former prisoners, among whom there are wounded, were sent to the temporarily occupied territory of the Donetsk region and settled at the training ground. They were told that they would do manual labor, dig trenches.
We arrived, got off the Urals, and they told us, now you will be eternal workers. I thought, again perhaps I was taken as a prisoner, Russian military in a commentary to the publication Holod.
The mobilized also complain about the attitude towards them in Moscow. A video appeared on the network in which 2 Russian servicemen say that in the capital they were treated without respect and even with some contempt.
There you go to the subway. If inform, people immediately disperse and call you a killer.
Nevertheless, the fact that it is necessary to introduce universal military training in Russia was stated by Deputy Prime Minister, Presidential Plenipotentiary Envoy to the Far Eastern Federal District, Yuri Trutnev. In his opinion, in the current conditions, I quote, the revival of universal military training, the patriotic spiritual traditions of our people is necessary. Reported by Diana Kolesnik, Angelika Brushnevska, UATV News.